Okay, now here we're going to discuss the answers for the psychiatric quiz conducted on 30th of April. So coming to question number 1. So here the question asked is, which defense mechanism is he using? So here you can see in the question that there is a stressor in the life of a psychiatrist, Dr. Sunil, that he has taken rupees 1 crore as a loan from HDFC Bank, and every time the bank keeps on calling as a reminder. So he is distressed with it, and finally one day his ego forgets that there is something by the name of HDFC Bank. He forgets that something he has taken rupees 1 crore loan from that bank. So this suggests that he uses the defense mechanism of dissociation. Coming to the next question, identify the specific disease. So here basically he forgets that there is anything with the name of HDFC Bank, or he has taken a loan of rupees 1 crore from that bank. So he forgets, there is amnesia. So the correct answer is dissociative amnesia. Now coming to question group 2, if you read the question carefully, it's almost the extension of the same question, but now on one day finally he is in Hyderabad selling jalebi in a mall. So he wanders from Bangalore to Hyderabad. There is wandering, but this wandering is not purposeless, unlike in schizophrenia where you get purposeless wandering. Here he is selling jalebi in a mall, so it is a purposeful wandering. And on asking, he says his name is Suleiman, so his identity is changed and he doesn't know anyone by the name of Dr. Sunil, a psychiatrist from Bangalore. So he does not know his old identity, he is having a new identity, and there is purposeful wandering. So these are the specific features for dissociative fugue. So the correct answer is dissociative fugue. Now coming to question group 3, here if you read the question very carefully, it's a bizarre neurological, sensory and motor manifestation, as there is sensory loss on half of the body, left half of the body specifically, from face to toe, and there is a sharp line of demarcation seen. There is aphonia, there is no speech even after trying to speak every morning, and sudden blindness admitted by the patient. So these are bizarre neurological manifestations which mainly occurs when there is earlier which was known as hysteria. So hysteria, or the new term is conversion disorder. So basically the defense mechanism used here is conversion. So the answer to the disorder is conversion disorder and not any kind of dissociative disorder. And a gait which has been referred to here in conversion disorder is specifically called as astasia abasia, where there is a very abnormal gait which cannot be explained by any neurological disease or a disorder. And also there is a specific line, the last part, the last paragraph, as also you observe a facial emotions are almost normal in spite having so many symptoms. So this phenomenon in conversion disorder is known as labile indifference. Her facial emotions appears to be normal in spite her having so many symptoms. This is called labile indifference. Conversion disorder basically is occurring here because she has a stressor in her life, which you can read from the question. So basically her ego wants to protect her subconscious mind, so it takes over the conversion defense mechanism. Now coming to question group 4, if you carefully read this question, here the patient is preoccupied with HIV and HIV. HIV here is an illness, and if you properly read from the question that she is an illegal sex worker. So being a sex worker, her concern for HIV is natural and it's justified. So basically it's a involuntary, okay, it's an involuntary subconscious. She is creating the her symptoms, or her her concern is involuntary, subconscious, and is not artificial. Okay, it's involuntary, subconscious, and it's not artificial, coming from the history of illegal sex racket. And she is preoccupied here with an illness called HIV. There are no symptoms as such like backache, headache, pain. So basically the correct answer to this question will be not somatoform disorder but a hypochondriasis or illness anxiety disorder, because here she is preoccupied with an illness, not a symptom. In somatoform disorder, the baseline of the question will be same. The patient will be creating the symptoms subconsciously, involuntarily, but there she will be preoccupied with symptoms like low backache, headache, pain. But here, since it is HIV, is an illness, she is preoccupied with HIV, it will be hypochondriasis or illness anxiety disorder. Now going to next question, group 5. So here if you read the question very carefully, you can find that there is no specific reason given in the question for which the lady has to complain of stomach pain. From the background history, we did not get any relevance of stomach pain symptoms since 3 years. Though she has visited many doctors, many hospitals in the city, but all are without a proper diagnosis. She has done many multiple blood tests and all. If you read the second para, it says that her husband remains out of the city for most of the time in a month, and he spends very less time with his wife. If you read the last line, it will give the clue to the answer. Because of her frequent symptoms, he is with her these days for past few months. That means this lady might be creating those symptoms since 3 years so that her husband stays with her for more time. So basically it's a case of malingering, where this lady wants her husband to stay with her. That's why she is mimicking those symptoms of stomach pain. So it's a voluntary, it's an artificial, voluntary, conscious creation of symptoms by the lady in order to get a benefit, what we call as the secondary benefit. Secondary benefit here is that the husband is staying with the wife. So here is a secondary benefit, a motive behind her symptoms. So it's basically a case of malingering and not a Munchausen syndrome or factitious disorder. It's a case of malingering because it is secondary benefit. Okay, the primary benefit is that the ego is satisfied, but the secondary benefit is that the husband is staying with her. So basically it's a case of malingering. Now going to the next question, group 6. If we follow the stem line of the question, it's the similar one. But now in the second para, it writes that she is still alone. That means the husband is not with her even now. She is even not getting any medical leave when she leaves medical leave, when she visits many doctors. And she seems to know much of medical science. That means she knows the facts and figures of medical science. And also her abdomen is showing previous scar marks of multiple operations. That means here, if you carefully look, again she is creating the symptoms consciously, of course, voluntarily, artificially, but there is no obvious secondary benefit we are getting. There is no motive or any purpose Okay, there is no any materialistic benefit, unlike she is not getting any medical leave, right? So there is no materialistic benefit or a secondary benefit, like the husband is coming to stay with her these days. And so basically we can say that this is a case of factitious disorder, Munchausen syndrome, where she only wants a primary benefit of getting care from the doctors or the medical professionals. That's why she is visiting so many doctors. She is a doctor shopper, so many doctors, so many hospitals, from hospital to hospital. So, and she also knows much of medical science, facts and figures. So, and also having grid abdomen showing previous scar marks. So basically it suggests a factitious disorder or Munchausen syndrome. Now coming to the next question, group 7. Here you can see a boy who usually likes to stay alone, aloof. He goes out alone, he eats alone, he watches movie alone, he shops alone, but he seems to be happy. The key line here is he loves his loneliness. He loves his loneliness, and there is no any warmth of greeting exchange with the boy when someone tries to communicate with him. So here the personality disorder, of course, will be schizoid and not schizotypal, because in schizotypal you will find quasi psychotic episodes history written. So here it's a schizoid personality disorder. Now coming to the last question, group 8. Here you can see that there are issues of attachment issues, interpersonal sensitivity, multiple breakups, multiple patch-up, and cut marks, the very very prominent cut marks on her wrist, suggestive of DSH, deliberate self-harm, and she is very moody and arrogant. So it's clear cut a case of emotionally unstable personality disorder, also known as the borderline personality disorder. So I have given you the key points suggesting to EUPD. So thank you thank you very much for participating in this quiz. I hope you liked the STEM questions here, and I think I have justified the answers to each and every question. If any suggestions, please do let me know. Thank you.